Hi, folks. The beverage ramble from Mobile, Alabama.
Hi, everybody. Hello, world. How are y'all this morning, evening, afternoon, wherever you are? In the
Hi,
words of George Nori.
this is Wild. I'm from Louisiana. This is Wildcard Wednesday, uh, and we have myself and Jean. So, people were asking about it. Let's see. I'll start this up here.
Send the word out. Beautiful day today throughout the southeast. Not as humid, but a little warm. I'm sure it was for you, Mr. T,
Yeah,
down there in Louisiana.
yeah, you're right. What beer are you drinking?
Tonight, I'm having Yinger Light Lager, 99%. Not, excuse me, 99%. Whoa, that'd been interesting. No, 99 calories, 3.8% ABV. From D&G Yingling Sons from Pottsville, Pennsylvania. Now the beer, I think all of their beers now are available in 32 states from my last count, which includes the District of Columbia, DC. No, I think maybe it's in 29 states. I'm sorry, forgive me for saying that. Unless I'm forgetting another state up north, whether it be Michigan or Ohio, or whatever. But I know Louisiana has it. Y'all
Yeah,
got it when in 2017, 16?
2014, I believe.
Okay. Yeah. So
Uh, we were supposed to get it in 2013, but something happened. Like some people were. Oh, you know what happened? The distributors were having a big fight over who was going to get to distribute it.
uh,
Uh, for some reason, and they settled on the Anheuser-Busch people distribute Southern Eagle. So
yeah. The
that's what
evil
happened.
empire. The evil empire, right?
Yeah, but
And a
in
good
our
one.
case, not in our case, because we were finally able to get it at least.
Yeah.
And y'all had gotten it from back in the early 2000s when I would go through Mobile. I would get it. Now I have Coors Banquet.
Yeah.
I was going to try to get Sam Elliott to come on here and talk about this beer like a voiceover,
That would have been a great, and I could ask him some questions about Roadhouse, the movie, which I loved him in that movie.
hold on, I'll be right back.
Okay, I loved him in Roadhouse, but yeah. So Robert, good evening. How you doing, my friend?
Hey, pretty good. How you been, John?
Good. Jesse, how are you?
I'm doing good.
Awesome, awesome. Yeah. So yeah, we got Yingling here in 2008, and I was surprised that we got it because when I moved down here in 2006, I asked about it. You know, y'all sell Yingling, and people were kind of looking at me, what? All right, never mind. You know, so yeah, but yeah, we got the beer here. Obviously, their brewery, which they bought out, the old Stroh's Brewery they bought in Tampa. I think it was 1998 or 99, if I'm correct.
So it could have been, I don't know, but yeah, they
Yeah.
did buy it. Uh-huh.
And so they're able to expand their reach, and I think there's some criticism always about them about that. They're, you know, the way the family runs it. It is a family-run company that, you know, people who come through the area or where if they can get it, you know, love the beer. But look, the family has ran it all these many years, and they go by a certain way and a certain process. And now, like I said, I think if I remember, maybe you could check on the website. I'm outside. I think, well, again, 29 states. All their beers are available. Well, certain ones, but the big three: the light, the traditional lager, and the black and tan.
Yeah, and we want to get to our other guests, but and answer comments. But yes, and also it's now a craft beer, certified craft beer by arbitrary certification standards.
I didn't know that.
Oh yeah, it was a regional brewer, and then all of a sudden they just flipped the switch and said, like the old Burger King commercials,
Yeah,
"Ding, you're a burger."
yeah,
Now tonight, besides Louisiana, we're going out further west. We have the Whiskey Scout, but tonight addressing beer, and he is in Kansas. Robert.
Yeah. Well, tonight, how about this the other day? It was a Schmaltz Brewing Company, Slingshot, American Craft Lager. And it has a guy on there with the slingshot, literally with hops in it. It says, Goliath, come out and play. A lot of advertisement here. But it does list on the top malts. It says specialty 2-row, caramel pills, Vienna, wheat, rye, and flaked oats. The hops are Warrior, Czech Sauce, Cascade, Citra, Amarillo, and Crystal.
Wow, that's a lineup.
Yeah, it sounds like a hodgepodge, really. It's 5.3% alcohol by volume. I'm going to assume it's also it says he brewed the chosen beer on top. I'm going to assume it's what's that word? Doesn't say it on it. Kosher.
Yeah, I think it is a kosher beer. I think there's a KSA certification on there.
Yep, there is. You are correct right there. I see it now. KSA. Yep. Anyway, I've never had it before. I was in the store and I seen the Iron Maiden beer, and this one was kind of sitting right next to it, and I thought, what a dichotomy here.
Yeah.
Iron Maiden versus Jewish Schmaltz.
Schmaltz. What do I know for kosher? Hey, so Schmaltz is a famous company, been around since the 90s, and they did open their own brewery, but it didn't work out, so they had to go back to contract brewing, and they sold off the brewery. Now, well, going out a little further east from Kansas, we have Shane. We miss Shane, and Shane had an exciting summer so far. So how you doing, Shane?
Yeah, Shane saw some pictures. Really looks like y'all had a good time out there.
Yep.
Yeah, we did have. We've been traveling quite a bit. Really tired, but man, we had an awesome time. Spent about 16 days in Europe, traveling about 7 different countries, and we do that trip every other year. So Arkansas Ambassadors of Music, take a bunch of kids over and put on a few concerts and see what we can see, and it is a lot. It is a tremendous amount to take in, but man, it's a blast. Trip of a lifetime.
I'm sure the beer is cheap. I'm sure the beer is cheap out there over there.
Oh yeah. When we were in Paris, I checked into a little grocery store right by the Eiffel Tower there, and they had the big 750 milliliter bottles of Sommet Blue, which is about $13 around here. $14, $15. It was €4.50 for a big bottle of that,
wow.
Which is about $6 probably for American.
Now
The German beers are super cheap too. I mean, it's just their beers are quite a bit cheaper than what we get here.
I wanted to start early tonight because about 8:05 Eastern, I want to watch the Cubs game. Well, what beer do you have tonight?
I've got a Lost 40. Y'all hear me talk about Lost 40 all the time. But,
Oh yeah,
this is their second rodeo. It's a light lager, and it's kind of their take on Bud Light, really, because Bud Light and Budweiser is made with Arkansas rice, right?
Right.
This is made with Arkansas rice and Arkansas water. So I don't know, it's a little more crisp, a little more refreshing to me. I've had this a few times, so I already know what to expect. But I thought I'd share it with you guys. I know y'all like some light lagers pretty well, and you guys, if you ever get a chance to try some Lost 40 beers, you're in Arkansas or whatever, they make a ton of different styles. But this is kind of one of their newer ones they've released, and kind of going back to just regular old beers. It's just a regular old beer, not much to it, but it's good for summertime.
and it's not their first rodeo.
No, it is not. This is a 4.1% also, so you can drink these, all day.
It's their second rodeo. And you sent me some Lost 40 beers, and that was a great day when I got that box, and I put them all on the back porch, and I took photos of them all and put them on Facebook.
Yeah. I'm glad you enjoyed them. They make a lot of different styles. I don't think I sent you everything that they make now. Of course, there's been a lot of newer ones come about since I sent those to you. But
and
I'm glad you enjoyed them.
I sure did, and I think my favorite one from the whole batch was the Major Indoor Lifting Federation beer.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, the
yeah,
MILF major.
Yeah.
That would
that
apparently.
was the from Mother's Brewing up in Springfield, Missouri, actually.
Yeah, Mother's Brewing. That was good. Major Indoor Lifting Federation.
Yeah, right.
I think that's what that
That changed.
MILF stands for, something to do with lifting weights. But anyway,
Yeah.
so I was very impressed. Now, well, going further east, and we're gonna get to Jessica because I'm trying to go geographically so I can keep this together in my cabeza. We have Ronnie S. And what beer are you drinking tonight?
Hello, guys. Good evening. I got I think it's pronounced High Alai.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
Hot Fly. I've had that delicious product.
Good,
IPA.
very good
It's,
IPA.
American IPA brewed out of Cigar City, Tampa, Florida.
I can get that beer after just a short 3-hour drive to Pensacola, assuming I can drive 70 miles an hour the whole way. I can get High Alai.
Hey, hey, stop by and pick me up on the way.
Yeah, we'll go to ABC. We'll go to ABC Wine and Liquors in Pensacola and buy a bunch of beer, and then we'll go to Trader Joe's in Pensacola and buy a bunch more. Right? How about that?
Like a plan.
Now, Ronnie,
Cigar City has made its way into Memphis, Tennessee. Actually, I saw it in May, and I got to try the High Lie there back in May. I found some in Buster's liquor store there, big, huge liquor store in Memphis. But finally got to try that one myself. That's an excellent beer.
boy, that's good. So Ronnie's got an exciting beer. Now, Jesse, up there in New Hampshire, in the New England states, looks like he's got some nice weather in the background. What are you bringing to the table tonight, to the conference?
Well, in 1842, the Citizens Brewery of Pilsen
I already know what it
was
is.
the world's first golden Pilsner, never stopped. So we'll stop there at that. But I do have the original Pilsner from Pilsen, Czech.
All right, good one. That's a good one.
Pilsner Urquell.
From Czechia, yeah, from Bohemia.
Is it Urquell or Urkel? I keep always
I
butcher
call it
that.
Urquell, but it's I don't speak.
Yeah, it's Pilsner. It's actually, if you look through the record books, the actual name is Pilsner Steve Urkel. Steve Urkel. But did
It
I?
does come at 4.4%
Did I just say that? Okay. I can't help that. That's a gift. Look, when he said 1842, I knew he wasn't talking about Schaefer, so it had to be Pilsner Urquell. Now, before we start talking about our beers, let's look at the comments. We have 12 people watching, 13 people watching. By the time we get off, probably be 13,000. But and I say that in the most humble way. JTLBZ says, what up, boys? Greetings from Ohio. Greetings back to you in Ohio. Bart Robinson says, good evening, fellas. Good evening back to you, Bart. I don't remember where Bart's from.
Jersey, I think.
New Jersey. I'm having a man's beer, Samuel Adams Oktoberfest. And Maxwell retracted all his messages for some bizarre reason, but he was saying, I remember what he said, greetings from Russia. It's morning time. And so greetings to you, Maxwell. And I will not retract that. Now, Subject Zero says, whoops, went back too far. Subject Zero says, is Coors Banquet considered a banana-flavored ale? No. But it has banana notes from the yeast content. Oh, well, I'm going to get to it. Dylan Blue says, love a good black and tan. Jason Jennings says, Jean-Pierre equals The Rock. Ha ha. And then, that's what he said. And then Max Walt's got some more retracted messages. Craig Swinson says, hello, everyone. I'm having a 24-ounce Molson Triple X.
Yes, I love that beer. Oh, yeah.
Triple export. Maxwell says, good morning, Ron. Oh, good morning, Ron and all. Again, I see your friend who looks like an actor, Dwayne Johnson. CS says, I am drinking PBR Easy on this warm evening. We got that around here for about a week. Of Craig says, and then one other week we got Pabst Extra. For
Yeah,
like,
what happens to Pabst Extra, man? The new one.
well, the company's insane.
Now I could see why Miller was, or PBR was getting all just tiffy about Miller trying to buy them out. But hey, maybe they need to.
Yeah, thankfully. I mean, I wish they would have done that 20 years ago. Did someone say they have an Oktoberfest beer? It's too soon. Yeah, July. In July, Oktoberfest always hit the market, boy. Maxwell says, now I'm drinking Budweiser. Nice beer. What's the weather now? Well, it's warm here, Maxwell. Warm, and it's been raining a lot in Louisiana, but it's not today. Okay. Andy Paschke says, never have I ever had a Yingling. I'm having a PBR Extra 16 ounce. Ain't gonna rub that in our face. Okay. Ron, have a good Thursday for you and your friends, says Maxwell. I will. You're already in August. We're still back here in July. You're in the future, Maxwell. We're in the past. Bucky Dent says, what's up? Just chilling, drinking the bud. Jason Jennings says, hi, Eli in Ohio. Good beer. Island Natty says, hey, Ronster, I am glad I can chat with Hey, Ronster, I am glad I can chat with you live. Hey, what is your point of view on European colonization? Oh, what a... I have mixed feelings about it. I have mixed emotions, just like the Rolling Stones. I have mixed emotions. Okay, Bart Robinson says, trying out the Pabst Hard Coffee at the moment for the first time, only available in 4 states currently is my understanding. And Island Natty says, I am having Coors Slice. And Maxwell says, good conversation. Folks, Maxwell is in the Russian Federation. Now, it's time to get down to it. Like the Cowboy said in Mulholland Drive. So you want to get down to it, do you? Okay. Jean-Pierre, we're going to go west to east, so just be patient. And the furthest west tonight is the Whiskey Scout. So schmaltz is a cooking oil, a kosher cooking oil, but the beer is not cooking oil. Go with your description.
It's very citrusy. You really get the citrus in the hops in this one. It's really bold, even on the nose and the palate. A typical lager. I know that's not probably what you want to hear, a word typical, but it reminds me of a lager with a lot more hops, and with all the different hops they used, it kind of makes sense to me. I mean, it's really heavily hopped. I mean, this one's more so than I expected. Overall, not a bad deal. I mean, it's cloudy. It's almost like
It is
unfiltered and looking in a way. I'm not sure if it is or isn't. Doesn't state, but it's just very hoppy. It's a very extremely hoppy beer. But it's good. I mean, it's refreshing. I've been mowing and working on a mower all afternoon, so this is hitting the spot.
Well, that's good. We had a great schmaltz beer the weekend before last when John and Illy was here. We reviewed schmaltz, Funky Jubilation, and that's the name of the beer, and that's the glib humor that they're using, so people cannot use that against me because that's what it's called, Funky Jubilation 2014, and it was good. We felt like we were at a jubilee.
What was the ABV on that beer? I forgot. I remember y'all really were excited about it.
9.9, I think.
And that's a bourbon barrel type.
Oh yeah. It's made with 7 different beers. Got 7 candlesticks, 7. It's kind of thematic. And then they blend them all together and they age them in bourbon barrels.
Okay, sounds like something I would try for the holidays.
Yeah, it was dynamite. It was as close to 100 as you can get without. Well, one of the guys said it's 100. It's world class. Y'all are stupid if y'all don't say it's world class. I think that was David saying that. And I couldn't really argue, but that was from his museum.
Oh wow.
the David Garland Peak Museum, which is incredible.
A good Christmas beer, and singing Christmas carols with that beverage.
Well, maybe Hanukkah carols. All right, now, but yeah, it's a holiday item. Now, let's see. We have Shane, who I think is further west than I am. I know he is.
Yeah, probably just a little bit.
Shane, where are you at?
I'm in right in the middle of Arkansas, Searcy, Arkansas. About an hour, maybe an hour northeast of Little Rock.
Yeah, because directly north of me is Memphis, Tennessee.
Yeah, that's about an hour. I'm due west, an hour from Memphis.
Yeah,
Like,
so
I'm
5 hours north of me.
Great city, Memphis. Love Memphis.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, it's getting a little tumultuous there these days. I mean, we've had already 100 shootings, 100 killings there just since January.
Not in Memphis.
Oh yeah, imagine that. It's pretty violent though. West Memphis is not much better either. It's probably one of the more violent cities in Arkansas.
I love the Bass Pro Shops that's there. Used to be the old pyramid.
Yeah. I've never been. Bass Pro's been there, but I've passed by a million times. I did get to go see Tom Petty in concert there at the Pyramid years ago.
Tom Petty. Well, what do you think about the beer that you have?
Man, this is lawnmower beer. Definitely, it's real light. It's along the same lines as your Bud Light, or really more than I'm drinking it right here. I'm thinking about it. It's basically a bit more like a Miller Lite to me than the Bud Light, but it's made with the Arkansas rye, so you're getting a lot of crispness out of, not Christmas, but crispness out of this beer. And it's pretty nice having the Arkansas water. We got some really good drinking water here in Arkansas, a lot of springs and everything. So kind of taking advantage of this.
Right?
Yeah, you can go get some drinking water and have a hot bath there. They have these thermal hot baths there in Hot Springs. And there's some pretty good little beer explosion going on down there too. A lot of little tap rooms and places to get craft beers there. So that's pretty neat. Superior Brewery is there. They're actually the only brewery that's located on a national, like national grounds, for a park. It's connected up to. It's actually in one of the old bathhouses down on that main strip in Hot Springs. So that's kind of cool that they got that brewery, and they got a lot of other good beers from breweries there, other breweries outside of state and in Arkansas too. But anyway, this is there's not a lot to describe about this beer. It's
just a Budweiser product, is what you're saying.
Yeah. It may be a little bit better ingredients, maybe a little bit better quality rice that they're getting, or fresher at least, since we're here in Arkansas. But you're getting some a little bit of lemongrass notes in it, and it's definitely a grassy or grainy from the rice flavors and notes. There's not much smell, you get a little bit of hop bitterness on the end of the chug. So definitely getting some hops in there. Not super hoppy, but just enough to kind of balance it out. But it's a 4.1 set out in the summertime, sweat and drink these all day type of beer.
Oh yeah.
Not a whole lot to it. It's really refreshing. It's just one of those beers that you don't have to think about. You just want to drink, That's what it's about.
That seems to be getting popular again, back to basics movement. Now this beer I'm drinking, Coors Banquet, came out in 1873. They use Moravian barley. That's also that's the next little area next to Bohemia. The Czech Republic is made up of Bohemia, and then right below, kind of southeast, is Moravia. And and the Coors people come from the German Confederation. So it would make sense because Bohemia and Moravia were part of Germany until 1866. The Czech people always get furious when I say that. And I say, well, I mean, I didn't write the history, okay? I mean, it happened. I'm just telling you what happened. They always say, they took over our country. And they go on and on. We didn't want, we didn't want to be part of Germany. I was like, wait a minute. I'm just telling you what the situation was in 1866. I'm not commenting on the merits of the
1866
merits.
or 1871.
No, it was
Was
part of
it the Franco-Prussian War? After that?
it was previous to that. It was part of the German Confederation until 1866.
Oh, the Prussian-Austrian War, Austro-Prussian War.
Yeah, and that was the year of the 7 Weeks War, right? When Germany, when there was a sort of like a war between the states, with literally what it was, a war between the states inside of Germany. That's right. And then that confederation was dissolved.
German Confederation.
It was dissolved. That was something that didn't last, but only 51 years. Okay, but anyway, I'll say a few quick things about this beer. It's made with water, barley malt, corn syrup, yeast, and hop extract. And it's won awards. It won a bronze medal at the 2014 World Beer Cup. It won a gold medal in 2009 and 2015 at the Great American Beer Festival. Oh, it also won bronze at the Great American Beer Festival in 2014. So 2014 was the bronze year. And then it won gold in 2015 and silver in 2016, just 3 years ago. So it's won many awards in the obviously American lager category. Didn't win best in show. 147 calories, 5% alcohol. Give you a quick rundown. That'll take less than a minute. The aroma is a little spicy in the nose, probably from those Moravian hops, which is noble hops, I'm sure. You would imagine probably what, like Tettnanger or something. And there's a little biscuit on the nose, like a almost like a soda cracker. And maybe banana, but I don't know. But let's go with the taste. Taste, of course, is kind of strong. Like the alcohol does start to seep in. It's only 5%, but starts to seep in a little bit. Then you get the grain. It's kind of indistinguishable brewing grain. Like people might say, like my friend David says, beer, it tastes like beer. And I say, yeah, I think most people know what you mean by that, like a lager beer, kind of that little sour, fermented taste. And then no real bitterness. And it's pretty crisp. It's easy going. And I got this can for 79 cents from Mathern's. That's the normal price. You can get it 79 cents a can times 6 cans. These pint cans, which is plus tax, which is not bad these days.
What do you get it for? The four cans for how much?
6 cans.
For how much?
We don't. I know you don't get 6-packs in Florida, but we get 6-packs of these pint cans for about what, $4 and well, whatever 79 cents times 6 is, $4.83.
They sell them by 4-packs here, the 16 ounce.
Yeah. Florida has some kind of peculiar laws. Yeah, $4.74 6-pack. That's exactly what I can get it for. $4.74 6-pack of pint cans.
It's a great price.
I think it is. It's refreshing. It's enjoyable. I mean, when I saw that in that discount basket for 79 cents, and it's within the date, it's not expired. No, sir. And by the way, Banquet's only made in Golden, Colorado. So I said I'll buy it. So I'm liking it. Now going on to Ronnie, are you enjoying the highlight? You probably polished it off already.
No, I just poured a little more in here. So this is the color. I got some notes here. ABV 7.5. IBUs on the can, it says it's 65. Website says it's 70. And then
That happens a lot. Yeah, I run into that problem a lot.
It's got 6 hops: Amarillo, Simcoe, Cascade, Motexa, Centennial, and CTZ. And it won the 2010 Best Florida Beer Championship gold medal and the 2011 Best Florida Beer Championship silver medal.
And you've had it before?
Yeah, I've had it a few times.
You can get it at Trader Joe's over there.
It's got a strong smell of the hops. I mean, it's got 6 hops in it. You take a sip and you can taste the hops right away, bitter right away, but it doesn't stick around. I think for the amount of hops it has in it, it's not a bitter taste. It's not like, because I'm not into really bitter beers, West Coast style, I guess they're called. But this, it's bitter going in at first and goes away pretty quickly. It's pretty refreshing after that.
Man, I drank a beer last night that you would, I think, hate because it's an IPA and it is bitter AF. That means as fabulous. I think that's what that means.
Is it well known? Is it a well-known IPA?
Yeah.
The one I drank,
Yeah.
you can get it at Trader Joe's. It's called Bosom Double IPA in the red can.
Bosom?
I'll show y'all later if I remember. But I'm going to go on. You're enjoying it though, huh, Ronnie?
Yeah.
I knew you would. And now we're up to Jesse. I got to remember one night to go right northeast to west. So he's not always west. He's like furthest northeast. But my mind always like American working left to right. You know what I mean? Like you're looking at a map.
That's all right. This going last thing's actually kind of helping me. It's actually, I just thought of a new plan for making videos because this is working well, because what I did was I did all my tasting notes, wrote everything down I was getting. So now I can just fire it off. And as you can see, I'm now in my second bottle right now because this stuff drinks like
That is a
crazy.
drinker, boy. That is a drinker, ain't it?
It is. They built it that way too. I watched a little documentary on it. But yeah, I mean, it's a beautiful, very clear, very bubbly Pilsner. It does have a nice white head to it. It does leave some good lacing on the glass. For the aromas, I get kind of like a floral, fruity aroma. Definitely the noble hops are coming through with that. And there is a slight bit of a grain note. For the flavors, kind of almost exactly like the aroma. It's getting a little bit of like a fruitiness. There's some earthy spice, which is more like that noble hop essence in the flavor. There is a grain malt, but it balances well. It's kind of like you get that mixed in with the flavors of the hops. And then afterwards, there is a lingering bitterness. The mouthfeel in this, it does have a light body feel. And it does leave your mouth with a little bit of a dryness, so it does make you want to go back and drink more. So, and it's highly carbonated.
Cheers, man.
There's comparisons to Pilsner Urquell to, I guess, Stella Artois, maybe.
Oh, no, it's way better. It's way better than Stella Artois.
I think so, too. I think so.
Stella Artois is a nice little beer, you know. You can
Or
get
Peroni. Or
Yes,
Pironi.
to me, Stella Artois is more like Heineken.
Yeah, I think a little better than Heineken.
Stella Artois is made with corn flakes, and Pilsner Urquell is made really according to the Reinheitsgebot. It's water, barley malt, hops, and yeast. No corn or rice. Excuse me. They're using an old Germanic.
Heineken and Stella Artois would be a good beer challenge, taste challenge.
I did that once, and I had fun. Yeah, but Heineken does not use corn anymore. But Stella Artois does still use cornflakes. But Heineken has gone to the German purity law under pressure from Samuel Adams, by the way.
Heineken is under the German purity law. They follow that
by their choice.
That's
They
cool.
adopt. Yeah, well, at one time it was made with adjuncts. But there was a controversy back in the mid 80s with Boston Beer Company and Samuel Adams Boston Lager. So Heineken was like, all right, we'll just make it without adjuncts.
What was the controversy?
That the owner of Boston Beer Company was calling out Heineken for using adjuncts. saying it was like not a pure beer because they used
All right.
either corn or rice.
So they were being the Budweisers of that day.
Right.
But
And so
the Budweiser-
Heineken, instead of telling him, hey, why don't you get lost? They said,
they gave him.
okay, all right. So they changed it and they stopped using corn or rice, whatever it was. And then that caused a lot of controversy within the craft beer community because all the other craft beer people were telling us, what's his name? Cook. What's his first name?
Jim Cook.
Cook. They're like, what are you doing? What are you doing? Why are you attacking a fellow brewer? What's your problem, man? It's like, that's how I'm making my mark. He's like, we need to make our mark and enforce it. You know, we got to think big now. And so they were like, no, we don't need all this, you know. That's not how you make it in the beer world. You got to be, you know, quiet, low profile, fly straight.
And now, as you can see, you know, Boston Beer and Sam Calagione and Dogfish are now partners. So,
Right. But that was a big, I had that book I read called The Craft Beer, whatever, story, whatever. And it talks about a lot of that fallout back 35 years ago. It's pretty interesting. Well, I got to read some more comments. Then we'll do the evaluation.
Ron, what's the name of that book?
Jay, I haven't got a chance to mention my beer yet. So,
Oh, John, I'm so embarrassed. But I shouldn't have woken up at 2:00 this morning.
I was gonna say I didn't think I heard about you here,
Things
but we
happen.
were already on Ronnie. I was like,
Things are starting to slip, you know. Well, y'all got to help me out. Y'all just sitting here watching me ignore him. Y'all are like, y'all should be doing like I do. What do I do in other
he's over there making rock eyebrows. We
I
just were
thought
like,
maybe-
oh, he's having fun.
I thought maybe he got to it before we all got on here, so I was unsure.
No, it's because I'm starting to slip.
it'll be real quick. Same flavor as the
Hey, Ronnie, another time, but I have the book at the house. You'll love it if you read it. Okay, Jean-Pierre, go ahead. I apologize. I do
It's
apologize.
fine, man. It's the same beer as a traditional lager, only half of the booze, same flavor. You taste some of the caramel notes for it being an amber ale. Some of the caramel, a little bit of sweetness to it. Very full-bodied, very enjoyable. But again, it's one of those crushable beers you can have. 99 calories compared to some other light beers. Some are within that 95, but within that range. But I'm sure this came about when they put this out. I guess the whole light beer rage when everyone was trying to be fit, stay healthy, which I think began late 60s and the 70s and went on. And now it seems like if you look at the top 20 beers sold in America, all of them, yeah, it's all light lagers, you know, whether it be Busch, from Bud Light, Miller Lite, whatever.
Yeah.
And this one, a little expensive, you know, but thankfully, like you said, there was a discount place I go to, Jay, you know what I'm talking about, the Hookup Store. And it's in date. It says September 15th, 2019. So it's fresh. Bought 2 cans, paid about $1.10 for them for these
Hey, Jean,
cans. Yeah.
you and I could go drive around Mobile and buy a bunch of cheap beer at these stores, and we could video it all, and we could make a little movie called I Got the Hookup.
Yeah. It'll be better than Master P's version. You know, another proud person from New Orleans, by the way. But yeah, so a very enjoyable lager, 3.8%, which I think the one that comes to mind that's within that range lower, I think what Amstel's like 3.6, Amstel Light, and you got Old Milwaukee Light, which is 3.9% or 3.8, it could be, but I'm sure those beers are a lot cheaper, or you know, for a 6-pack of this.
Once it goes below 4, it's too low.
Yeah, it's
Right.
really low, yeah. Hey, Jean, that beer you're drinking, that amber light beer, kind of reminds me of the old Dixie Jazz Amber Light. Man, Dixie should have kept their light beer being an amber beer, but no, they had to go to the.
What's the latest with Dixie in terms of that brewery? Are they gonna open it back up in near the city?
What's in New Orleans being built as we speak?
Good.
It's right
You know,
there.
because both beers.
Yeah, it's right off Interstate Highway 10, and they're building it. And
You know,
it's owned owned by the lady who owns. She has some other businesses she owns. She doesn't just own Dixie Brewing. She owns let's see, the New Orleans Saints football club, and she owns the New Orleans Pelicans team. So she has a little
What's her
money.
name? Benson?
Yeah, and also all these car dealerships around Texas, San Antonio, Texas, and Louisiana. So she's got a little money set aside, I suppose.
But the Dixie Lager and the Dixie Light, both excellent beers, by the way.
I'm not a fan of Dixie Light. I'm a fan of the old Dixie Jazz Amber Light. Now, Yingling Light, yeah, I kind of liked it. I prefer their Lord Chesterfield Ale, but
I can't get it here.
oh, that only sold here for like a week.
Yeah, and another beer that disappeared that I don't see much on their website. Their Indian Pale Lager. I don't know. That was good, and I reviewed it, but I don't see it around any of the stores. I just see again the big three, and then they're seasonal, whether it be the Oktoberfest or the summer wheat. Outside of that, nothing. Well, Chesterfield, I can't get it unless I go back home to Jersey.
Yeah, that's a shame because that was my favorite one. All right, let's read these comments, y'all. I'm gonna go fast. I'm gonna try at least. Got so many comments. Got 20 people watching. I thought it'd be like 20,000 by now. But let's see.
And I don't get anything from the Yingling in New Hampshire. So.
Oh, that is wrong. That is so wrong.
That's not good, Jesse. That's not good. That's not
good. They get it in Maine. They get it in Massachusetts.
Like I said, the family, for whatever the reason, they just kind of go about their way in terms of, you know, how they push or put out their beers, or maybe it could be issues with the distributors or whomever. I don't know.
All right, now let me read these comments, y'all, and then we'll give the scores, and then I'll go watch the Cubs get beat again. All right. Maxwell says, maybe you add me to Hangouts, please. Maybe it's more fun to me and all. Maxwell, he's in the Russian Federation. You could join the Hangouts, but you got to be part of the International Beer Review Guild, and then we can just send you the link, and you can click on the link. But you got to, you know, YouTube's kind of like Facebook now, where they got YouTube friends. You can connect on that little section that says YouTube friends, and if you ask me to be your friend, I'll be your friend, and then we can add you to the Hangouts.
Yeah, man, we need some Russians on here.
Right, of course you could join. We don't exclude people. We're not trying to make this thing flow perfectly. We want everybody to be here and have a good time.
Das Vidanya.
Right, that's right. Das Vidanya, Maxwell. Dr. Frosty Brew says, what was Jean's beer? And then Andy says Yingling Light. And then he says thanks. And then Bart says Total Wine is my go-to place for regular Schlitz and Schlitz Blue Bull malt liquor. Awesome store.
Yes.
Dr. Frosty says, haha, I need to stop and grab some Schlitz. Bart says they ordered both just for me. Great customer service and prices. The Total Wine on Neiman's Road, that is. And then Dr. Frosty Brew says, yes, I haven't been there in a while since they changed the beer laws in Pennsylvania, but the prices are way better. And then Island Natty says, I will join too, guys, but I need some time. Need some time? Okay.
What?
Maxwell says, no das Vidanya, only Privet. Okay. Privet. And then, I don't know what he's talking about. And then Island Natty says, from Canada, by the ways. And Travis McGee says, oh boy, here come the rooster. You know he ain't ever gonna die.
It's a song.
All right, so he's enjoying Alice in Chains.
Yeah.
Right, good. That's awesome. Jeremy Vincent says, heck yeah.
Heck yeah.
Now, so Jeremy, you could have joined. All you had to do is click the link. It wasn't too late to join. You can come on and tell us about your beer if you want. There's no
another fellow Arkansasian or Arkansas or
Arkansas.
yeah.
Arkansas. Here's the Bosom IPA that I was telling you about.
Double IPA.
Huh.
Yeah, and it's strong too, and it's so bitter. The IBUs are so high. This beer is 8.4% alcohol, and it's from Wisconsin. And you know the IBUs on this beer is 75. It's a deep amber beer. It's 75 IBUs, and I was drinking this thing last night, and I was like, "Go, that is so bitter," but I was loving it, But Ronnie might find it extremely harsh.
I think that's how I find this beer, Ron.
Okay. Oh, I can't wait. Now, I'm going to do the scores. So first, and I'm gonna try to do it right this time, John, but I'm slipping quick. I'm falling fast. All right.
For my beer, I'm gonna give it.
We're going to Robert the Whiskey Scout first. Score.
That's
All right, I'll keep it simple and clean. 87 for this one. It's a great, refreshing beer, but it's just pretty simple, straightforward, real citrusy, hoppy. Ain't a lot else going on there. It has got about a medium body to it. But just a good average beer.
Mm-hmm. Hey, you got to call them as you see them. That's my mantra. As we see it, that's what we say in the New Age movement. My mantra. We like to say that a lot. All right.
Your man.
87. A B. Huh?
Your man.
Your man. What?
You said my man. Is that your man?
I said my mantra.
Oh.
My mantra.
All right, sorry.
Well, that's all. That's Maharishi Mahesh Yogi, All right, now, now myself, I would give the Coors a 94. It's an A. It's a really good beer, and for $4 and something for a 6-pack of pint cans, it's a dynamite value. I always enjoy it, and I would drink it again. Obviously, so cheap. Now, I took care of that thing with no effort at all. Jean-Pierre, what do you score to Yingling Amber Light?
Again, a very good beer, 99 calories, a light lager. If you want to go by price, I know a 12-pack of this, and mostly you very rarely see this in a 6-pack, but if you 12-pack of this, it's I think it runs about $11.99, about the same price now for the traditional lager in a 12-pack. And if you're lucky to find a 24-pack, good luck on that. But a little bit high. I'm sure there are other light lagers that are probably better and a little more less expensive. But for this one, I'm going to give this thing a B+, so that would be a 87. I think it has all the flavors of the traditional lager. Again, half the calories, half the booze. Very good. So it'll be a B+, and that would be a 87.
No, maybe like an 88 would be a B+.
Okay. So
hey, but Jean,
yes.
That's kind of expensive for a B+ beer, don't you think? $11.99.
Yeah, I mean, look, and Jay, you know about Alabama and their prices. So I mean, unless there's a special at any of these grocery stores or any of these drug stores, good luck.
Yeah, and I made the tragic error of buying liquor in Alabama once.
Yeah,
that won't happen again.
It seems that this state is so behind the times. I mean, we got some great craft beers. I mean, if you've seen some of my reviews, of some of the breweries here, not just in my area, but throughout the state. But again, there's just good old Montgomery and trying to put his hands in the pot of everything. We want to price this, price that, price this, and all that.
How's the price of cigarettes over there, John?
Surprisingly cheap. Interesting enough, tobacco is cheap, but liquor is more high. I don't know.
Oh man, don't even get me started on tobacco. All right, now heading to Shane. We're going back west a little bit. What do you score that?
It's a pretty simple beer. For the price, it's around. I think it's about $9.5 for a 6-pack of it. So it's a little bit pricey. It is, craft lager, so the ingredients are a little bit better than what you're going to get with the macros, I believe. But it falls in line with, the Miller Lite and Coors Light kind of flavor, Budweiser type of light lager. So I'm going to give this a 91 at the bottom. It's a solid beer. Yeah.
That's fair
Hey.
enough.
Shane, quick question for you. Doesn't it suck? You can't buy beer in Arkansas on Sundays.
That does. It does suck. You know,
That's terrible.
what's cool though is a lot of the laws are starting to loosen up over the last few years. Where if you go to Little Rock, if you go to Lost 40 on a Sunday, you can buy beer at the brewery. There's certain restaurants, if they got a liquor license, you can buy liquor. You know, that's crazy, isn't it? You can go to a restaurant, drink all you want, get in your car and drive home, but you can't go to a store, buy a 6-pack and take it home. You know, unless you go to the brewery. So it's kind of backwards.
Go
Backwards.
to the local watering hole and watch the games on Saturday and Sunday,
Yeah.
and you know.
I live in a dry county. I don't know if some of you guys know what a dry county is still, but
Sure.
in Arkansas there are still dry counties where you can't buy any alcohol whatsoever from a store. But the restaurant, I live in a very, very like conservative town here. It's a Church of Christ University here in this town. So to see restaurants actually have liquor license coming in here now finally is shocking, really. A lot of the people got mad because they couldn't go to their favorite restaurant across the street from the university anymore because they got a bar in there.
Talking about Harding University.
Yes, yeah, you know Harding. Okay, that's cool.
Oh yeah.
The Church of Christ.
Yeah,
Or is that Protestant?
It's Campbellite.
Yeah.
In Campbell.
So it's weird and it's like you can't drink.
It's sort of like
Catholic. It sounded like a Catholic church.
Oh
it's
no,
not. No.
Modified. It's sort of like modified, sort of
non-denominational
Baptist type item.
Baptist, but without the instruments in the church. It's all there's no instruments in the church whatsoever.
Yeah, it's a bit weird if you ask me. But no one asked me. All right. And then the Disciples of Christ is another variant of the Church of Christ, but they are mortal enemies, as usually, which is usually what happens when you have two factions from the same branch.
Yeah.
And then they're like the liberal branch, and then the Church of Christ is like the non-liberal branch. All right. Well, anyway, I know the Disciples of Christ, they like to drink wine coolers a lot. But anyway,
They call that Jesus Light, right?
Yeah, they all got their favorite sins, I guess.
No, they just like Bartles and James.
For Jesus.
Which is beer coolers these days since 1991. Anyway, now Catholics like just liquor and beer and wine in general. Copious amounts of beer, wine, liquor.
It is even Sunday. You can drink on Sunday.
Of course. We're not. Okay, all right. We gotta watch it. We gotta. Going too far. Don't go too far, Tony. All right.
Yeah, I remember that line.
I'm not, Mel. You are. All right, now, Ronnie, you give us a score, and then Bumpy Road Brewing Company International Conglomerate is going to give us a score.
Yeah, I just want to say real quick, the name of this beer, it comes from, there was a game, kind of like a bowl game in Spain.
That's right.
In the Basque region.
Correct.
Called Halai, and it actually, this game made its way to Tampa, Florida at some point, and it was very popular here in Tampa.
I know the Foxwoods Casino up in Connecticut very well. Mm-hmm.
And then it's not popular at all here in Tampa anymore, but they say on the website that the Cigar City Brewing company is trying to keep the tradition alive by, producing this IPA named after the game. I don't know why it died down in Tampa or any of that stuff. But
it was popular for a while in the 1970s, and then it kind of died out.
Yeah.
Still around. It exists, but not with any kind of acclaim. But
and it has a guy with like a huge mitt. It's very big, like 5 times the size of a baseball mitt, like playing a game of I'll catch somebody else. It's kind of cool looking. I don't have the can on me to show you.
Yeah, I've seen, and people can look up YouTube videos of High Ally. And but what do you score it?
I mean, it's a really good beer. I'd call it a world class beer, and I'll give it a 94. Cheers.
94. I would call that most excellent, but to me, this is my score. We're going to talk about scoring in August. We all have our own little ways of doing it, but
Most excellent beer.
yeah, to me, world class is above 100.
Right.
Like better than you can even conceive. Like it shouldn't even be that good. But I've had a handful of world class beers, but not too many.
Most excellent beer.
Yeah, I don't insist that people adopt my scoring regimen. I mean, I highly recommend it, but I don't insist. So that's just passive aggressive.
Well, didn't you got your
That way, huh?
Beer Advocate or one of those websites, right? Isn't that where you
I'm
use?
on Beer Advocate and Rate Beer.
But what? I don't know.
I used to talk about the Beer in Me, but the Beer in Me went defunct.
Your 100-point. It came from a website, right?
Yes. Well, no. It came from my own mind. But I used to use the Beer in Me strategy, but since the Beer in Me went kaput, then I had a former commentator on my channel tell me that my scoring method was unreasonably harsh on beers, and he pointed out why it was, and explained it, and I said, right, you're right, I'm going to change the way I'm scoring. So I went to that scale, which is just copying the college in Louisiana test score scale, so it was a much more, whoa, what's all that noise? It was a much better scoring method. Although the other one I was consistent with it. Who's got all that noise?
I don't know where's that coming from.
I'm gonna mute you for a second. Let's see. Oh, is it Jean or is it Ronnie?
You know, it's Ronnie because every time the noise was coming up, he was popping up on the screen.
It was Ronnie. Okay, Jean, you can unmute it. Ronnie had a little technical problem. All right, so we got a 94 from him. Very good beer, beautiful beer. Now, Bumpy Road, what do you score that? I know you love it.
All right, so this beer to style, it is the original style. It is the bar. All right, so keep that in mind. I've had plenty of craft beers that have done Czech style pilsners. None of them have actually even reached the flavor profiles of this beer. Even if they do, if they match it, they match it. But this is exactly what you're looking for this style, because it is the style. So it gets a bumpy 50 out of 50, but for Ron Terrio, it's going to get 100.25 out of 100. This is a world-class beer.
I agree with that, because that beer has no flaws. It has no faults. It's 100%.
And for $1 a bottle as well.
Unreal. It's unreal. It's beyond belief. And they've been making all those years, over 175 years.
All I know is I'll bring that beer to a party. I'll get the side eye from everybody. What did Jean bring here? What is this? What is this? But exactly. But Bud Light and Michelob Ultra. All right, yay. Hey,
no, this even though I mean it's a pilsner, but I mean I think that people that drink lagers, pilsners, they'd really appreciate it, and it has a good amount of bitterness to it as well that I think pale ale or even IPA drinkers can appreciate it. So
it's like you having a comic book get together and you brought the Death of Phoenix story arc, and then somebody showed up and said, "Who wants to read that?" I brought Devil Dinosaur and Moon Boy.
I'll probably get a pass if I brought Modelo or something like that, or Corona. But if I brought this beer, I'll probably be like, side eye. Pilsner. We don't drink this. What is this?
I don't know. You might
You
get
know.
stuck with all
I
that.
And a
shouldn't
few other.
I shouldn't say that though. I do have every issue of Devil Dinosaur and Moon Boy, and I don't dislike it. Actually, I like it, but it's kind of not the best. All right, let's read the comments if y'all don't mind. Then we're gonna get off of this.
Yeah, I need more beer.
More beer. I have to do a taste challenge tomorrow. Heck, Whiskey Scout. I was gonna forget to tell you. Guess what I bought? Oh, I bought Bellows Bourbon, Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey. We could examine that one day. I got it for $6.99 a liter. How you love that?
Does it look like that?
Hold on. Yeah, it says Bellows Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey.
Yeah. I think I paid $7.99 for this one, but
That's a liter, huh?
yep, it's a liter too.
Hey,
Oh, I can't wait to try that.
Jay, what's the pronunciation of this beer? I'm filming right now.
I can't
Schaffenhofer, I think.
Say it again.
Show it to me. I gotta read it. I can't. I've had it, but not I haven't had the fruit flavor one.
Yeah, I was gonna go ahead and review it and post it on my channel.
Hofer, yeah, Schafferhofer.
Schafferhofer Hefeweizen.
That's I think it's like a 4%.
Yeah, which is a wheat beer. Am I correct?
Yes.
You got it, Jack.
I think
Okay.
the 80% that is very
Schaffenhofen, whatever.
Ain't a letter. There's not a letter N in that whole long word.
It's Schaffer.
Ain't a letter N in that whole long word. Now, let me read these.
Schafferhofer. Okay.
Let me read these comments. Yes, frosty beer prices in Pennsylvania are a little steep with the taxes, but glad they changed the law so you could buy a 6-pack. And Island Natty says various parts of the world it is called by many names such as pot, grass, sensimilla. Why are you bringing that up? Okay, I'm not gonna read all that. Why is he bringing that up? Dr. Frosty Brew. What is he going to go down to Sensimilla Street? All right. Now,
Time for the train.
Train's coming. The train's coming for me.
train kept rolling all night long. All right. Coors Banquet is always a go-to for a choice, says Dr. Frosty. Island Natty says, Ron, will you taste beers made out of cannabis? I have, unfortunately, had some of those where they're mimic cannabis. You forgot Wacky Tobacco. Oh, Wacky Tobacco. Okay, all right, blah, blah, blah. I'm in Virginia Beach, says CS. Pennsylvania is fairly easy to drive. I'll look for it in Delaware County if I get a chance. And he's saying, Bart says, greetings from Salem County, South Jersey, not far from you. Maxwell says, Dwayne Johnson, how are things with wrestling? Dr. Frosty says, cool, yeah, I only see it in 30 packs. Jeremy Vincent said, I can barely hear Ronnie. I can hear him fine. I like the extra gold better than the banquet. I'm lucky to get it here in New Jersey, says Bart Robinson, rubbing that in our face. Andy Paschke says, I got PBR extra pints, a 4-pack of pints for $3.25. Whoa. Dr. Frosty says, nice, Bart. Bart or Dr. Frosty, which store in Pennsylvania, New Jersey can I get Coors Extra Gold? And then Andy said, I only seen PBR and pints and 6-packs here for $4.99. Maxwell said, Ronnie, you watching TV, the news? Well, no, I'm doing a hangout. Dr. Frosty says, golf suds and soda in Alden, Pennsylvania is Extra Gold. Maxwell says, what happens in the world? Well, a lot of things happen in the world. Bart says, I see Extra Gold in several places here in South Jersey, but that's a bit of a drive for you. Also, many of your outlets in Pennsylvania. Jeremy Vincent said, gotta wait for the news update at 7. News update. Dr. Frosty says, Heineken and Stella taste very similar. Also, Total Wine and more in Claymont. And then Jeremy says, Jean. Maxwell said, can you add me in the Hangouts? I explained that already, Maxwell, how we could do that. Maxwell, aren't you you're friends of me on Facebook and you're part of Alcohol Eggs, so you can easily connect to me, but it could be a language problem that we'll have. What was Jean's beer? Yingling Light. Thanks. Total Wine is my go-to place for regular Schlitz and Schlitz Blue Bull. Awesome store. I need to stop and grab some Schlitz. Oh wait, we read that part. What happened here? Something got retracted. I mean, it jumped on me. Okay. Wait a minute. It's not Wednesday, says Voltron. Yeah, it is. Ron, how's your liquor store doing? Ronald is everywhere. Beer is a subject. My ears, says apply salt to the wound. Ron will win the Beer World Cup in 2021. Voltron says, oh, yeah. I think people are drinking a little bit while they're watching. Man, this place is so funny. I like it so much. Jeremy, who is he going against? Island Greg's Beers? And then Kent Beer Review says, hey, fellas. Jeremy says, hi, Kent. Cheers. Island Natty. Jeremy Vincent, fried chicken and beer. Long show this evening, says Kent. We got a lot of people and everybody's got a lot to say. Everyone pouring more beer, too. It might be a long night. Uh-oh. Jeremy, do you think Ron put tea or water in these bottles?
What?
When your mouth is getting dry, you're getting pretty high. That's me saying that because I think Kent Beer Review says Schaffenhofer. That beer shandy is like 2%. Laughing out loud, just guessing. A great Radler, says Craig from Kent Beer Reviews. Craig Samuels. Jeremy Vincent says pretty sure it's Beer Island. Andy Paskey said it is. Laughing out loud. Mighty tasty. Schaffer, Hoffer. Now they're getting crazy. I hear a train a coming. It's rolling around the bend. Play that Johnny Cash song. Cheers. Sup, John. Chilling you. Sup, everyone. John, same here. Cheers, Flacco. They're talking to Flacco, who's watching the testosterone channel. Hey, boys, says Scott. Fungal. Fungal says hello from Philadelphia. Voltron says, no, I'm not drinking. It's been a busy week. Island Natty Ron, have you ever seen a... Okay. Yeah, David, he has a big beard. Okay. Now, anyway, back to planet Earth. Got to get back to planet Earth now. So, I can see that we're not just doing this drinking here on the Hangout. A lot of our viewers are apparently joining in with great gusto. And
consuming some good beverages themselves, too.
It's funny because when you read the comments, they always start off pretty coherent, and then you'll start to see that they start to go awry around 40 minutes into the Hangout.
Oh, boy.
Like in real life, if you're with people and they're drinking, and pretty soon it'll get kind of even scary, actually, sometimes. But, well, I think it was a good Wildcard Wednesday. I was filling in for Eric Fraunfelter, who couldn't do it. Next weekend, I think I'm going to do it because we're going to talk about beer reviewing again, right? Scoring and stuff, right?
August, this will be August, what, the 7th or 6th?
Oh, however you add those numbers up, it'll be
I think it would be the 7th.
the 7th.
Yeah.
Right, because there's 7 days in a week. Right.
All right. Yeah.
So we're going to talk about beer scoring, and that'll be interesting, I think. And there won't be any beer reviewing. Nobody, we'll say, oh, I'm drinking this or that, whatnot. But it'll be about scoring beer, you know.
Just part 2, Ron.
Part 2, yes, part 2. There
Any
may,
particular topic for part 2?
yeah, there may be a part 3. Well, part 2 is going to be getting more into the scales, and like Bumpy Road has his method, and I have mine, and then we'll get into that real careful. Won't go on too long. And then I think part 3 will be about, do you let, like, your opinion of the company, does that influence you? Like some people will say, and I've seen this on beer reviews, this beer is really good, but I don't like the company. So they'll give it a bad score, and I'm like, that's insanity, you know.
I've actually received my first thumbs down when I started doing these videos, and I did a Treehouse beer, and I didn't score it like super high. I was just kind of like, yeah, it's, you know, not really that great, you know, compared to the hype of it. And then I got a few thumbs down on that.
Probably one of those thumb down.
So.
Get ready, because you're going to get a lot more if you stay on here long enough, and especially if a lot of people start watching more and more and more. Like,
Nature of it.
you can't please everybody, you know.
Nope.
And that's the thing. My motto is, oh well, I'm not here to please you. I'm here to give an honest review of something. You don't like it? Oh well.
That's exactly right.
No, that was my first taste of like real fanboy hatred.
Yeah, and it's not a hostile. It's not a hostile thing. It's like saying, "Here we are. This is my opinion." But I think you get, and this is the truth, you get people who are real jealous. They're very jealous, and they have a lot of anger inside, and so that's an easy outlet to lash out, and you'll see that. And especially when they're not anonymous, they can make a name like, you know, cigarette carton 93 or whatever, and say, "Let me tell you what you need to do, son of a gun." It's like, I don't even know who you are. You know, I don't even let people who I know tell me what to do. So why would I ever let somebody who I don't know tell me what to do, right?
Exactly.
So don't feel bad, Jesse. It's part of this kind of deranged game called social media.
No, it was just interesting because I did give my honest opinion on stuff, and it's just it's just funny when somebody doesn't agree with your opinion.
It's very funny in that peculiar sense of the word, because I've had people come after me hard and heavy for giving an honest opinion. And I was like, would you prefer if I lied? And I think their answer is, yeah, I would prefer if you lied, because the beer you're reviewing, you're obligated to like it. And I'm thinking, nah.
Obligated, or you supposed to like it because you're supposed to, my mind, you're supposed to think the way I think. You're supposed to see the world the way I see it.
You're supposed to like it. You are under an obligation to like it. And if you don't, then you are not going to be well received in the beer drinking community. So you get that kind of mentality in anything. Now, but that's another topic. That's another hangout. We're not going to do it tonight. But I think it'll be a fascinating topic. And but it'll take a little bit of intelligence to appreciate it. And I think a lot of our viewers have intelligence. Obviously, some don't, but most do, I would hope. But even those who don't, we appreciate you watching, you know?
Yep.
Well, usually we appreciate it. All right. Anyway, thanks. And sometimes even commenting. Thanks for watching this video production.
Ta-da!
Live on time.
Good night, America. Good night, world. Good morning, America. Good morning, world. All that.
It's signing off from Disneyland.
Yeah.